Take one.
We do need one of those things to be feel legit. I need a little clapper thing.
Don't be clap.
Yeah, we need a clapper. We don't need to clap. We're back. Bonfire Banter. Here we are. 50th episode. We're very excited about this. Thank you guys for being out. We have Brian Brusack, first time out. We're going to need to get the X over here. Luckily, we're surrounded by X's. Correct? That's what you guys call them, right? These are X's. Do you guys call them X's?
I mean, other people do. Sure.
All right, that's guitars. And then we have David out here as well tonight. He is the lead guitarist. Opinion. They've been out before on the 420 episode, but thank you for coming back out, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Everything's going super smooth tonight. It was super easy. Everything went to plan. So we got that going for us. 50th episode, we got it done.
Are you kidding me?
What did you say?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, it didn't go easy.
No, it
That was
hasn't gone
tough.
easy at all.
We had some sound issues,
It's been.
but we've got them. We've got them done. We've got it done, and it's feeling good. I got to take off the slippers too. I'm like I'm breaking my own rules around here. I got to get barefoot. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you guys so much. JPL Property Services dropped off all that new wood. It's going to keep us warm through the winter. Right now it's raining and we're not using the wood. Well, actually, the tiny little Lincoln log things he dropped off is actually what's burning this. So thanks for the Lincoln logs. And then we'd also like to say thank you to More Brewing Company, Consume Cannabis, Jay and Joe Create. I think Jay's doing some kind of something's coming up here. We just posted something for Jay. Is he doing some kind of art show? It was today. If you're not there and you're not here, get to one of these places and see some of these things. But shout out to Jay. Hope it's all going well for you tonight, buddy. But we're talking guitars tonight. We got some guitar collectors out here. And David, let's start with the first one that you played the first song with. And obviously we're just editing here, but let's grab the first guitar.
Yes.
What do you got here?
I'd almost forgotten.
Yeah, I was like, what order?
I don't know.
What song was
The song I played was
So we're going to play here.
that we played is thank you. It's Zero by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
I played it on this guitar because this is actually the Billy Corgan signature Stratocaster made by Fender. And this one? Okay.
So this is what Billy Corgan plays. This is what he uses. Replica of
Well, he designed this.
He designed it. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so he does play it on stage.
Okay.
He's actually got, I think, 4, maybe 5 signature models with different brands, but this is the Fender.
Okay.
When it comes in white and it comes in black, I got the black one, obviously.
Looks nice. I like it in black.
It's got his, I don't know if you can see, but it's got his signature on the back of the headstock here.
That's pretty badass.
The pickups are custom made for him by DiMarzio. And, I mean, it's a little bit wider of a neck than I like, but I mean, he's got massive hands. I mean, his hands are huge. But I mean, the tone is just fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, you'll hear it with the Zero tune that we've got for you.
I'm a zero, I'm a thirsty man. Say your words when you really gotta need them. Pick out your birds and fly. Wanna go for a ride? She's the one for me. She's all I really need. Oh yeah, she's the one for me. Happiness is loneliness, and loneliness is cleanliness, and cleanliness is godliness, and God is empty, just like. intoxicated with the madness. I'm in love with my sadness. Bullshit fakers, enchanted kingdoms, the fashion victims to their chocolate. I never let on, yet I was on a sinking ship. I never let on that I was drowning. You blame yourself for what you can't ignore. You blame yourself for the forces. The one for me, she's all I really need. Oh yes, yes, the one for me. She's the one and only.
But yeah, this is
So what kind of wood are they using? I'm a big fan of wood.
so am I actually. But
This looks like some maple or something. What do you got here?
which actually brings me to
This is very beautiful looking. You want to check this out, Brian?
sure. I actually printed out some notes on these because I don't know anything about the guitars that I play, other than yeah, you know. Anyway,
Thank you for being prepared. We appreciate it.
yeah.
Coming out here with the good
So
stuff.
the body is alder, right?
Alder, okay.
And the neck is maple.
Oh, that is maple. See,
Yeah.
I know something about wood. I know what I'm talking about here. But yeah,
It feels unfinished, which is nice.
Yeah,
The
it's
back
got
of
the
it.
matte finish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's real
on
nice.
this part you're talking about, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking
Matches my
guitar.
bike back there.
Matches your what?
Matches the bike.
The bike? Yeah, you need to play that while on the bike going like at least 80. You know?
Goals, right?
Hashtag goal, right?
But yeah, what threw me off about this piece was that he normally plays with floating bridges,
Okay.
and this one is not.
You have to explain that to me a little bit.
Yeah, so you've seen Jimi Hendrix when he's got
Okay.
the whammy,
Yeah.
that's primarily what Billy has played, and plays, and it just threw me off that he decided to make this one a not floating. So there's no way, like if I wanted to do a whammy on it,
Yeah.
you can't because it's not physically possible. And
Why do you think
Hey,
he did that?
I
Is
got-
that-
I don't know
I got
actually.
a question for Brian. Why would he go with a sound bridge like that and not a floating bridge?
I don't know. I don't know why they put a fixed bridge on there. It's really cool. Straps with fixed bridges aren't very popular. You don't see a lot of them.
Or some
Does it have something to do with
But-
manufacturing costs maybe, and he's trying to get these more affordable or something?
No, I mean because his guitars that he owns, like the ones that are not signature, those all have floating. it just threw me off. It doesn't make sense to me, but I mean he does everything for a reason.
Yeah.
So I mean there's got to be a reason
Who's gonna
why
talk to him?
why
Were we saying that we wanted some thunder in this thing? I mean, are we picking this up at all? Are we picking up this thunder? It's pretty, it's pretty big. So he's got some kind of reason.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
Do you have his number?
No, actually.
Let me see if I got Billy Corgan on. No. Yeah.
the next,
He was busy tonight.
Oh yeah, he's on the next one. Yeah,
the next one. Yeah.
Crumb and Fuel, right? He's gonna be there. Sweet. Are you coming as Billy Corgan?
Yeah,
That's good. Well, thank you for showing us that one, and let's we'll play that song right now. Back to Brian Brusek. So, Brian, so show us one of your first ones. Which one do you want to talk about first here?
I'll talk about my Gibson Invader. So, because this literally was the first real guitar that I ever really got. My dad bought this for me when I was 12, so I've had this guitar for
When you were 12?
when I was 12.
Badass.
So this has been 33 years now.
You didn't got to date
We're on
yourself
there?
like that. You didn't.
That's okay. I'm not scared. It's been. I mean, I've put it through its paces. It's basically a Les Paul body.
Okay.
So in the '80s, Gibson came out with a line of guitars that were a little bit more affordable, and they were Les Paul body. So they had this. They had the Sonex also. The Sonex had a top mount pickup plates, with the pickguard on it. But the Invader was a little bit different. That it was just a solid body, but they have a bolt-on neck. Most Les Paul guitars that you'll see will have a set neck, and these particular lines of guitars had a bolt-on neck, which made them more affordable. This thing is, if I ever record, this is what I record with. Nothing sounds like this guitar. It sounds amazing.
For you, even though it's
Yeah, and it's it's all mahogany. It's got a maple neck with an ebony fingerboard. I believe this is an '84. You don't see a lot of these. Bret Michaels from Poison plays one. He had a Confederate flag one, which wasn't real popular.
Wasn't.
Isn't. I guess maybe at the time it was. But he had one.
Sax is pretty fun.
Yeah, and that was a Les Paul. And then there was one of the guitar players in the Black Crowes, right around when they came out in the late '80s, early '90s. Played one too, and it was like a bright red. So you don't see them very often. It's not that they're rare and really pricey because of it. It's just they didn't make a lot of them, and most people like the set neck. I don't have a problem with the bolt-on
Does it
neck.
make any difference playing it or anything else? I mean,
People, if you're really a purist, I think they talk
it
about
bothers you a little bit.
sustain.
Yeah,
But
see that.
this thing is like Spinal Tap. It'll ring for days.
But
You go have a bite, Oh.
but at the end of the day, does it smell of rich mahogany?
You tell me.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a look at it.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Congratulations.
That and lots
Beautiful smelling guitar.
That and lots of bars in the late '90s, and early 2000s. I can tell you that. So, I love it. It's my first real guitar, and the fact my dad got it for me was really cool.
Yeah, that makes it a little more sentimental and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what kind of stuff do you play on this? You play rock bands or what is this? Is there something better to play with a guitar like this? I don't know nothing about any of this. So.
This is really, more of a rock guitar.
Okay.
I would say, really, this is a straightforward rock and roll guitar.
Okay.
It's a lot of gain. Yeah, a lot of the rear pickup's really hot on it. You could do some blues with it and stuff, but most of the time, this was my go-to when I needed to play something kind of heavy or something straightforward rock and roll. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for bringing that one out as well.
Yeah.
And then let's go back to you, David. What was the second guitar? Do you remember the order? We good?
I believe so.
I guess we could do it anyway,
Yes,
really.
actually, I thank you. The second guitar.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
This
you.
is TV magic right here, happening right in front of us.
This actually is this is an Ibanez Apex. It's called. This is. Do you guys know Korn, the band? Yeah.
I eat a ton of it.
I mean,
Yeah, no, but yeah. No,
Starts with a K.
vegetable, but I've heard it. Yeah, no. Where's the fucking guitar? Where's the drummer when I need it? What the shit? But I know Korn.
So one of their guitar players, his name is Monkey. This guitar was made specifically for him during the Take a Look in the Mirror era. And that's actually my favorite Korn album. It just is. You got to listen to it in its entirety. And I remember I was actually working at Guitar Center at the time, and they were on the cover of Guitar magazine.
Okay.
And I saw this thing, and I was blown away. Both of them had fantastic guitars for that issue, for that tour. Actually, had a mirror, like a chrome finish on a 7-string. It was beautiful. But his was not produced for the public. Only Monkeys was, and I wanted this thing since I was, since that album came out, which was, I want to say, like 2003.
Did you own a bunch of guitars before this buy?
I had
already in the game.
I had like 2 guitars, but
Pretty early on, though.
yeah. One of them my dad bought for me and whatnot. But I just anyway, when this piece came out, So it's mahogany, and it's got a bolt-on.
Mahogany.
And this one's got the floating, back to the floating bridge thing.
Okay.
But it's a Floyd Rose system, which it makes it so it stays in tune.
Okay.
And then this is the whammy bar. It's not
usually like up here somewhere. Right?
exactly. I was just about to say it's
And
like
I'm pretty novice, but I know at least that.
yeah. I think they call this one a U whammy bar, right? Because of the shape.
I've never seen it other than on Monkey's guitars.
Really.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
okay.
He's impressed, is what he's saying.
I am very much so.
Anyway, so this thing has so much gain. I mean, it's Monkey's guitar, so it's like
because again, this for me. What does that mean?
it's like
Complicated.
a little bit. It's not quite volume. It's. Do you have a better way of explaining this?
Gain is like that crunch that you hear, in any kind of rock music. It's that grittier, kind of distorted, overdriven
Okay.
sound, and it's just. But guitars will output more depending on the kind of pickups that are in and how they're mounted, what kind of wood they're in. So if he's got really hot
So
pickups,
again, the type of wood makes a difference on how this thing is sounding. I mean,
a ton,
that's
in my opinion. it
Oh,
does,
yeah.
This is why I
Oh,
love doing
yeah.
the shows, because I'll talk to people from different walks of life about whatever, and talk about guys brewing beer and stuff, and that blows my mind. That's a new fact that I've just learned, is that the type of wood is giving you a different sound. That's awesome.
Another interesting thing that he chose to do was he's only got 3 settings. Usually on a guitar like this, you'll have 5.
Okay.
But for some reason, he just went with the 3 settings for the pickup switch. When you move this little thing, it selects different pickups. So
Gotcha.
if this position's this one, this one's both, and this one's this one.
Okay.
He also doesn't have any tone knobs, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
It makes it a little difficult to control on stage.
Yeah.
But when we cover Korn, I mean,
Perfect. Yeah.
you gotta bust it out,
Yeah.
right?
Makes
Anyway,
it look way more legit, at least. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
These are not in
Button on your mic.
Okay. Keep going.
these are not in production anymore. So I mean I've had to buy it used, but it was I had to have it.
I mean, it's pretty cool looking piece too. I like that, just the finish on the outside of it and stuff. Again, I didn't know nothing about nothing, but so what? My favorite part actually is it's a 69 on it. Is there any kind of importance in that, or is it kind of just like
I
69?
believe that's the Cancer symbol.
Zodiac, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I knew that.
The Avalon, man, this is so cool. I mean, can you get a close up of that?
We need to get this roaming camera to work.
Holy cow! I mean that
Right up on-
that Avalon is just, I don't know if it's just mother of pearl or Avalon. I don't know what's on it yet.
A little too close.
Incredible.
You're too close. And almost.
The neck is nice.
Oh,
Because
perfect.
it's so big in the 7 string, the neck is nice. This thing's great.
So I was going to ask that too, because again, I feel like I'm an idiot even asking some of these questions. But talking 7 strings, so typical guitar 5.
Typical is 6.
6. Okay.
But because Korn is
And
very
invented an extra string, and they just wanted to go 7.
well, they didn't invent it.
No,
but they, but because of their low tunings, it definitely it's absolutely vital for
Gotcha,
for
for what
that
they're doing. Yeah.
to happen.
What if I should die? What if I should die? I'm so blind, blind. Deeper, when I get to this, but like that seems to me, a lost reality, that I can never find a way to release. Your footsteps is low, how deep can I go in the ground that I lay? If I can't find a way to get to the grave that clouds my mind, this time I'm a little bit between the lines. I can see I'm going blind. 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 I'm fine.
Well, that's awesome. All right, Brian, let's go back to you.
All right.
What do we got here?
I'll save this guy for last.
I was going to say, I was trying to in my head go, where's he going to go with this one here?
So this is my Kramer Focus 3000. The kind of cool thing about this one is that, being a lefty, I had a hard time finding Floyd Rose guitars. So as Dave was talking about with floating bridges, this is actually a fixed bridge, but it'll dive bomb down. So that's a lot of which was an Eddie Van Halen thing. He always had fixed bridges that would only go down. But I had a hard time finding, Floyd Rose bridges on a left-handed guitar. And really, I mean, all the 80s guys are my heroes, so they all played Kramers. And so I really was looking for a Kramer for a long time. And I went to a guitar show in Dalton quite a few years back. And this was there. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And what I love about a Floyd is that once they're set up right, everybody worries about how hard it is to set them up. They're not that bad. Once they're set up right, they never go out of tune, ever. You can just bring the strings down until they're just flopping around, and you got a floating bridge. You can bring them up real high and come back down. They never go out of tune.
How's that work?
Well, on a fixed bridge like this, it's not bad because you don't have anywhere to return to. You got a clamp here, and then you've got a clamp here.
Oh, yeah.
So once the strings are stretched out, they're not going to move anymore. So you can bring them all the way down, bring them up, and they're going to return back to where they were.
Okay.
With a floating, they make floating Floyds too, which is like on Monkey's guitar. Even then, as long as the bridge is parallel with the body, it'll return back to where it's supposed to be, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for guys that do, whammy bar tricks and dive bombs and stuff.
I'm sure just playing regularly, the time it takes to keep redoing that. I mean, I'm sure again, I've never played in a band, but I'm sure it's pretty ample amount of time you need.
That and just, playing live, you're going out of tune, you just don't sound good. I don't know how many times you get knocked out of tune, it drives you nuts. It's like, and you hear it and you're trying to fix it somewhere, So there is some provision to do that. They got fine tuners on the bridge to kind of give you a little bit, of flexibility on the fly. But this one actually has Eddie Van Halen's D-tuner on it. So this is actually a device that you can use to drop the low E string down to a D. So, which he would do on a lot of stuff. And it's really convenient. If you want to play something in a drop D. Like I remember we played this. We were doing what's Slash's band, Velvet Revolver. They were doing Slither, and then he does a lot of stuff in drop D. And I pull it out, drop it down to D, and come back up.
That's cool.
I've never
really
seen one in
versatile.
action. Could you?
Yeah. So it's like
Now we're talking.
like stupid simple. It just comes out
No way. That
and it drops to D.
That's-
Yeah.
wow.
You may have to tweak it a little bit, with the fine tuner, but then you just push it back in.
And
You're
it's
back at D.
back.
That's it.
fantastic.
Yeah. So
Pretty simple, yeah.
they made D-tunas or like hip shots for
Yeah.
for low E's.
Those failed miserably from what
Yeah.
I recall.
Couple guys use them.
Hip shot?
The hip shot is it's a tuner that you replace your low E string with
Okay.
on the headstock.
Okay.
And you can flip it and it would drop it to D, but you'd have to mess with it a little bit.
Okay.
Richie Kotzen is a guitar player, uses them a lot. Some bass players use them back in like the 80s and 90s. But I love this. It really doesn't require a lot of adjustment on the fly.
Yeah.
You can pull it out and you're down in D and you can push it back in, you're back in E.
Okay.
So this one I played with a band I was in the late 90s and early 2000s called Primetime. And we played everything from Chubby Checker to Metallica with the whole Elvis set in between.
Okay.
You know,
you
so
needed some ability to
a lot of
change the sound
versatility.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I could get just about anything out of this that I wanted to. So
That's awesome.
and then I shaved the neck down. I just sanded it. So I like a raw finish on the neck. So I just sand
Okay,
it to
so
finish
wasn't
off.
like it didn't feel like this when you first had it. You went some sandpaper.
Yeah.
At the Home Depot.
That's it.
Nice little time.
400 grit. You
Alright.
just take the finish off of it. So, and this one's seen some stuff on dance floors that are probably illegal in a couple states. It's been
That's our kind
run
of
through.
jam.
It's
That's
been
how
run
you
through the paces
behind
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
So,
What are the switches there?
so the switches are just pickup controls, which I thought was super cool. No tone like on Monkeys. No
Yeah.
tone, just the volume. The Eddie Van Halen right to the volume. But the switches just turn the pickups on or off. So you could run them however you want. And I don't have any coil tap on this. And this is a 59 Junior. So it's a humbucker, like a dual coil in a bridge. We're in the neck position with a single coil size. And that's a 59. And there's just a stock strap pickup in the middle.
Yeah, my head's spinning.
So
I
Seymour
had no
Duncans. Yeah. Seymour Duncans.
Sounds cool as shit, though.
How many items can you change to the guitar before it's a break?
Hey, Rob, can you get him on audio saying this question?
I mean,
Jump him in. Let him say the question again so we can at least hear.
I would
Jump
say
on
you
it.
have to modify it
All right, let Joe ask
significantly.
the question.
Modify an image so much it becomes your image. And I know that if you modify a guitar so many times, it's called a Frankenstein, but does it have to consist of a different neck and a different body, or is it how many items you change on the guitar itself? Question.
Well, on some of them you can't even change the neck on. It just depends on the piece. But I don't know. I guess there's no definitive answer. But
But as a
if-
guitar purist.
as as a purist, if you change one
Nothing,
damn
yeah.
thing on it,
Yeah.
it's
It's not,
over.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's done.
So, but pickups, are pretty commonly replaced. I've done repairs to the Floyd on this. Just because I've used it so much. There's probably over 350 shows on this guitar. It's just, and you can see that just the color and the fretboard even
Yeah.
changed. You can
That's cool. No, I guess so. The get-go.
you can see where I played. So
And that's what that's from? Is just
yeah, just from sweat.
wearing it down?
Yeah, just
That's cool.
It's
I
never
don't know if the
been.
wood was picking up the stain different ways. Like you stain a piece of wood and you'll get lights and darks in there, but it was
Yeah.
all the one same color, and that's from wearing it down.
That's it.
That's badass. Yeah.
That's it. So, my Kramer Focus 3000, my first
yeah.
Floyd guitar. So
Nice. I like the strap on that thing too.
the flames.
Flame that matches the bonfire
Right?
panther. Get up. That's good.
There you
good
go.
stuff. All right. All right. So, David, we're going back to you. Show and tell continues.
Next piece is
Take a look. Take a look.
This one's actually yeah.
I'm just.
This one's actually a treat. I've never played a full song on this guitar
till
till
tonight.
tonight.
Yes. Exclusive.
Exclusive. World premiere.
Oh, God, you haven't played that
It's
before?
so
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I've never played a full song on it before.
This is like
I've-
collector's item to the extreme.
this is a very collector's item, I guess.
I got a couple
there were
questions
only
out the back, but you
200
go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
were
go
only
for it.
200 of these pieces made. This is an Adam Jones BOS signature Les Paul.
Beautiful looking guitar.
It's got a here, I'll do this real quick on this camera.
Go back a little bit. Right about maybe there. Let's see what we got. Right about.
It only weighs 10 pounds, so take your time.
Yeah, right.
Right. His arm's not shaking yet, so that's good.
Anyway, so there were only 200 of these ever made, right? And I'm very lucky to have excellent friends.
One of 200 is pretty cool.
In the music business, and they got one for me. So thank you, Keith and Jimmy.
Shout out Keith and Jimmy.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you ever need anything, Sweetwater, Keith Clickus. Anyway, this is solid mahogany, all of it.
Wow, so much mahogany in the room.
It weighs 10.1 pounds or so. I weighed it. It's like it's over 10 pounds.
Yeah, that'd be tough to go a whole show with. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, it's a murder on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's
Compare that to this.
it's something.
You'll see how light it is.
What do you got?
Even that one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just feel it off the bat. Yeah, that would be tough.
So, and actually, it comes with these interesting, and I didn't even know about these things until I got this guitar. These little oval strap pins,
Let me see. Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So instead of strap locks, which, you know, because at that point now you're altering the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we've talked about is Frankensteining it now.
Thank
you, Joe.
Yeah. Which is frowned upon if you're a purist, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, because this is such an important or a collector's item, you
Yeah.
don't want to mess with it.
Nothing. Yeah.
These came stock. These are made by Gibson. This little stopper here, in addition to that oval strap pin, makes it so, you know, I could basically dance around with this and it won't, you know, it won't fall or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I think every guitar player's had a problem where a strap came off live and your guitar fell or
Not ideal.
something. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, it's just tragic on
Yeah.
many accounts. It's very interesting, the pickups. He's got an inverted pickup on the neck, so it's still a neck pickup, but he's got it inverted. I mean, that's just the way he wants it. And then this is a custom DDJ Seymour Duncan. These were very popular in the 80s, I believe, right? They don't make them anymore, but you can actually order custom ones from Seymour Duncan. And if you tell them that you want the DDJ, Marcela Juarez,
Yes.
who is the
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
She's the one that wound most of the distortion pickups in the 80s. We'll wind one for you if you just include a little footnote on there. There's a spot for you to include it. And you can get one delivered to your home so that you can place in your guitar. Adam, of course, has a 1980s one that he's got on all of his silver bursts. He primarily just plays silver bursts. He feels that the color affects the tone. So
Interesting.
all of his guitars, except for one, are silver burst.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
So,
an interesting thing.
also, you might notice that this doesn't look very silver. It's
Yeah, I was gonna
a
say
little-
it looks more goldy.
yeah, exactly. That was on purpose. That's it's aged. So this is a VOS, vintage original specs is what is what that stands for. So they aged. If you actually look at the bridge here, you can see a little bit of rust, kind
okay.
of.
A little bit. Yeah.
So they aged the metal on this piece to make it feel like it's an actual 1979.
They did
Les
that
Paul.
purposely.
Yes, that never got played.
Really? That's crazy.
Right.
So it's like buying pants that already have tears on them.
It's a really good analogy. Really?
Kind of, yes. So yeah, only 200 made in the entire world, and I have one right here. Adam Jones is one of my hero. I mean, that entire band, Tool. I'm a huge Tool fan.
Yeah.
And just to be able to have this guitar is
Pretty special for you.
yeah, very very.
What are
special.
these little white pieces in here?
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Oh, the inlays.
What is that material?
These are mother of pearl inlays.
Okay.
That's just how they made them.
I usually say that when I stub my toe. I didn't know that was a real thing. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about the mirror. So
That was my next question.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cut me off, man. Thanks
So-
for taking my next question.
the mirror is he has mirrors
hold.
on his guitars.
He wants to see himself when he's like,
Yeah.
friggin' make sure his hair's all right and shit.
I mean, I don't know. No one's really. I've not read
Because that was my next thing.
Any-
What the hell is that?
any answer on it. What I assume he's very Tool's very much into spirituality and,
Okay.
and sacred geometry and
Okay.
and lots of stuff that everybody can look into. My personal theory is to reflect negative energies away from his playing, but that is not, before Tool fans blog about this.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just my personal
Yes.
my personal opinion.
Which sounds pretty good. It sounds like he came up with something that sounds
Sounds appropriate.
legit.
That's just what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, before I get bombarded with death threats,
Yeah.
because Tool fans are, we are insane people. But,
Yeah.
it's like a cult. Anyway, so yeah, so this is it. The first time I played an entire song with this piece.
How'd it feel?
It feels fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually do have a 1979 Les Paul Silverburst, just like this one.
Okay.
That's the one that I play on stage.
Okay, but what's the difference between this one and that one?
Well, the other one was made in 1979.
Okay.
And it's what Adam uses on stage.
Okay.
This one was made as kind of a replica
Gotcha.
to his current one, but it was made last year,
Okay, yeah.
2020, as a 1979.
Setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Pre-rested.
Yep.
Aesthetic.
They even went and found the right wood and everything. It was
That's
an
badass,
It was
yeah.
an ordeal.
I can imagine.
And you said it's all mahogany. There's no maple top on it.
It's all mahogany. There's ebony on the frontboard.
Yeah.
Ebony.
And,
okay.
and
That's
it.
badass.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the craftsmanship, like I do a little bit of woodworking, like it's pretty amazing looking piece. It's crazy what they could do with this stuff.
What's
Yeah.
cool about Gibson is the tops are carved.
Yeah.
They're carved by hand. And that's
hand.
usually why they're so
Every time.
expensive. Yeah. So I
That's
think some of
wild.
the production stuff I think is probably made by machine, but
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff is carved.
See, I
and
wouldn't
they're all a
have
little
thought
bit
that either.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's if you see this top, there's an arch to it. So
Huh. That's badass.
and
Yeah.
that's a thick body too. Like if you compare it to this, Les Paul, just look how much thicker that body is too.
Gives you
Yeah.
more chug.
a little more chug. Thick
Yep.
bodies, gets
Yeah.
to chug.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And that's a set
I'm
neck.
catching on to all this now. This all makes sense.
and comfort deep within you. You will not want any other place. Not enough anymore. Not the things to satisfy you. I don't want it. I just need it to feel, to breathe, to know I'm alive. I could deep within the borderline. They hurt a little from that things have come to be. Desensitized to everything. What can sabotage? How can this mean anything to me? When I really don't feel anything at all. I keep thinking. Me and we belong together. Sure, the deep within the borderline. Relax around and take my hand.
All right, Bruce, let's give us your third and final
Okay.
guitar.
My third and final. So this is a 98 American Standard Telecaster with this is a guitar strap I think that my dad had on one of his guitars back in the late 70s. It says Ace on it, so
There you go. It's got
so
some stories than just a strap.
a little bit, and that probably smells worse than the other one does. This is not rich mahogany. This is an alder body as well. Most Fenders are alders or ash. But this one is kind of cool. I was in a band. I was in a cover band, making decent money, playing on the weekends, and I wanted to go out and buy a Telecaster. I wanted a nice American Standard because they play really well and they sound good and they're built better. It's not a custom shop, but it's just an American Standard. So I went out and I bought it. I traded 2 guitars and some cash for it at Guitar Center in '98. That was like June or July. And then right around Christmas, one of my friends got me a gift certificate for Guitar Center. And I went in the day after Christmas and I had this and I had an effects rig in the back of my car, my amplifier. And it was a 1969 Pontiac Catalina. And all the doors were locked. But to this day, I swear they were locked.
Stories building. I like where you're going.
And it got stolen. I was in Guitar Center for 25 minutes. I went in to buy an Ibanez Tomb Screamer.
Oh.
And I came out and
Doors
the
are locked. What, they bashed the window in?
they popped the lock. So didn't even bother to close my door. I walk out, my door was still open. So they took my effects rig. They took this. They couldn't.
So you're
take
telling
it.
the robbers didn't think to shut your door. They didn't
even
have
close my
any
door.
kind of decency,
Yeah.
huh?
And like a dumbass, I'm like, check my trunk. It's gone.
Yeah, you know.
It's like
Did I
one of
put it
the
in the
worst.
trunk? Like, no, you didn't fucking put it in the trunk.
Right.
Doors open.
Right,
fucking
like,
gone.
One of the worst feelings in the world
Nightmare.
is
That's
just somebody
a
taking
nightmare.
your stuff.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I go back in the guitar. So everybody come in there with no, nobody came in there with a Telecaster.
No one
So-
just walked in, took it
yeah.
out of my car, walked back
Yeah.
in to get a tune for me.
So I was devastated. I just bought it, paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna give up on it. I'm gonna see, I'm lefty, so they're a little bit, you don't see as many of them. You could
Yeah.
find a black Telecaster probably in any store out there, any guitar store or whatever, pawn shops. So I was a little bit relentless with it, and I just kept calling pawn shops and music stores every couple of weeks. I'd have a rotation almost. So I was at work and I was ordering lunch for my team. I had the phone book open. This was back in like '99. That
Yeah.
phone book.
You definitely dated yourself again,
there
your
was,
brain.
There was no Google. This was before Rob actually worked for me back in the day. Open up the phone book. The first music store I called, they said, hey, I'm lefty. I'm looking for something used. I'm getting back into playing. Gave them a story. They said, yeah, we got an American Telecaster. Really nice. It's black. Really? It's rosewood neck or a maple fingerboard? And, it's maple. It's all real nice. Really? I said, do you have any wear on it? It's a little bit of buckle rash in the back, from, just for a little bit of wear. I didn't use it that much at that time. I asked him as much as I could about the guitar except for the serial number. So when I was stolen, I made a police report with Burbank Police, and I'm like, well, can you put that guitar aside for me? I want to come down and look at it. I'll be around about 4:30.
Yeah.
So I called Burbank Police. I'm like, they got my guitar. I know it's mine. I'm going down there. And they were like, hold on. Just relax. Don't go anywhere. We'll go down there for you. Do you have all your paperwork? I said, yes. I still have my receipts when I bought it. And sure enough, they go down there. So we need to see the guitar.
Oh, shit.
And it was 6 months later. It was
This is gone.
6 months
This
later. It was
fucking
gone.
Yeah.
Gone. And they were like, what do you need to see about it? They said, we want to see the serial number.
Serial number, yeah.
Sure enough.
I was wondering, I'm like, how are you going to know it's yours or not? But
right
serial
there.
number, yeah.
The serial number's right on the back.
Oh, my.
So, and sure enough, I had
Same
it.
guitar.
It's mine. So, so
What
they
saying?
call.
From where it got stolen out of, how far was the store that you found it at?
I don't want to name the music store it
No,
was
it's
at
fine, but
because
how
they're good people.
distance-wise?
20 miles.
Okay, so it
maybe.
wasn't that far.
Wasn't
Dude
far.
didn't take it to Indiana or something, go driving all around with it.
And so what was really upsetting is I think this thing new was
Crazy.
like $850.
Yeah.
And I
Did
rarely.
you have to buy it? Did they make you buy it back?
No, I didn't buy it back.
Oh, this,
That would have been terrible.
like, no, this is a guitar. Well,
But,
it's $600.
But I'm talking
Where's
to the
your
guy on
money?
the phone, and I'm getting the information about it. And I was like, "Well, what do you want for it?" He was like, "Oh, $450." I'm like, "You son of a bitch! I paid $850 for that guitar 6 months ago." So some crackhead took it and pawned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean,
Goddamn crackheads.
I know, right? Every time. So they pick it up and they didn't have my FX rig or my case, or they said that they didn't have it. I really wanted the guitar back, is what I really
Yeah.
wanted. So I got it back. So I go down to Burbank Police, and it's in the evidence room. And they're like, do you want to see it? I'm like, well, yeah, let's get it out. And it's like they opened the door to the evidence room, and it was like
Bunch of bricks of
sun-
cocaine and
No, it was like the sun was shining on it. It was like, it was like right in the middle of the evidence room, like. And they were like, you want to press charges? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to press charges. Sorry, we got to keep it for evidence. I said, hell no, I don't want to press charges. Give my guitar back. So I said, so I took it home. And the funny thing was I had ordered this pick guard for it from Guitar Center when I had it. And then the pick guard came in and the guitar was gone. But I kept the pick guard, and I was able to put the pick guard on it because normally it just came in a regular white pick guard. I put the black pearl white on it.
That's cool.
Thought it looked kind of cool. Little bit, country, a little bit rock and roll.
There you go. It's my favorite. Isn't that Dolly?
Yeah, right. So
I don't know much, but I know something.
the Osmonds, I think it was actually the Osmonds. I think
Was it? Oh, now I fucked up. I just gave myself a pat in the back for no fucking reason.
But is that okay to say the Osmonds? I don't know if I want to even. Know
Yeah, be careful.
So this one actually, I don't name a lot of my guitars. This one's called Pawn because, it was stolen, pawned off.
Yeah.
It was found. I play a lot of blues on this if I want to.
That all matches. This is all to play blues on it. This is all making sense now.
There's a lot of mojo.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
mojo on this one here, and that's why I wanted to bring it. I got a lot of
That
guitars.
is a
but
pretty
this one-
spectacular story about some. I would have given up. I don't know if I would have been as diligent as you as keep calling around and
was
tracking
pretty
the shit
relentless.
down. 'Cause you're right though. I mean, someone steals something out of your car. Odds are, if something like that, it's like, oh, a guitarist is walking around stealing out of people's cars looking
Right.
for a guitar. Like, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably crack it.
Probably a crap.
Probably.
So
Let's get real. But
Yep.
yeah, that's insane. That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
that's my '98 American Telecaster.
That's
Love it.
awesome. All right.
This was actually my backup. That was my main guitar that I played live.
Okay.
It was funny because this is not equipped anything like that one.
okay.
And I love playing it so much. Anytime I popped a string on that, I'd pick this up and play it and
Good to go.
tweak the amp a little bit, and I was good to go.
Yeah.
So
But you can't go to D.
I can't go to D, and I got no whammy bar.
See,
in
I'm
this one.
learning,
So
I'm
I had to
learning,
be
I'm learning.
a little bit more creative when I was playing. No Van Halen on this one.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good story. Nice comic relief in there as well. Oh, you dropped your goddamn beer.
no,
too.
drop my beer.
Jeez
There you
Louise.
go.
All right. Back to David. You got one more for us?
I got one last one.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, cool.
So
What do we got?
this piece, I call this one my David Gilmour knockoff because it very much is not his. He also has signature, like the Billy Corgan and
Okay.
the Monkey.
Yeah.
I do not own one. Hopefully one day, but for now, this one will do. I call it my David Gilmour knockoff because the sustain on it is incredible. And the reason I chose to bring this guitar here today is because this is my main on-stage guitar. We gig about 3 to 4 times a month right now. So, I mean, not full-time yet, but, you know, anyway, this is like 70%, maybe 80% of our set is played on this piece.
And which one was tonight on this piece?
We had 2 songs for that purpose so that I
Gotcha.
could demonstrate the versatility
Gotcha.
of tone on this one. Time by Pink Floyd and Swallowed by Bush.
Okay.
Away, moments to make up a dull day. Better and waste the hours in and off and we kicking around on a piece of the ground in your hometown. Waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Darling gone.
Because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, they played 5. I'm clearly looking at 4. how many beers have I had? And what am I miscounting here? I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but I'm going to roll with it and just see what happens. But so yeah, okay. So you played 2 songs on this one.
Played 2 songs on this one. This is just a regular. You can actually get this at Guitar Center today. When I bought it, it was like $4.99 or something, and then I had a coupon, so it was not very expensive at all. Right now they're going for about $600 or $700 because of the pandemic price increases.
Wood prices are up,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are.
especially mahogany.
True story.
Shout out to mahogany. All right, go back.
And again, nothing special about this one, but for some reason, and you know what's funny? My bassist Chris noticed this. He's like, I feel like when you play that guitar, you have more chemistry with this guitar than any other guitar. You know, I've got these pieces, and you would think that like, okay, well, something like that I would be more attached to.
Yeah.
And I am in some way, but as far as playing,
Like, is it the feel of
it's
like everything about it? Yeah.
It's the comfort. It's the tone. It's the control that I have with this one. It's just.
And again, this is a 6-string then?
This is a 6-string,
Okay,
yeah.
And most guitars are, you said, like 7-string isn't a very popular thing?
It's not a very. I mean, for certain type of music, it's an absolute must.
Okay.
But no, I mean 6-string is the norm.
Okay.
And that's, you know, I want to say 95% are all of guitars.
That's kind of what I figured, yeah.
Are 6 strings.
Okay.
Anyway, so I brought this piece also to, you know, let your listeners know that if they want to get into it, or if they want to play an instrument, you really do not need to spend a lot of money on these things. You can buy $400-500 guitar, and it'll sound just as amazing, if not better, than something like that. You know, this one is made in Mexico, and you know, there's I don't know. Some people say that, you know, if you get an American made versus like these are all, well, except for the Ibanez, that one was made in Japan, but
Okay.
these are American made, U.S. made. You know that it's a better quality instrument if it's
made in America.
if it's made here,
Yeah.
but this one's made in Mexico, and I don't think I've ever played any other instrument made here or China or wherever the
Anywhere
fuck
else, yeah.
that plays like this piece. I'm so attached to it, and when you hear the versatility, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, I play Metallica on here, I play Pink Floyd on here. What else do we cover? I don't know. I can't think of it. The Cars.
The Cars.
You know, it just very, very versatile.
Yeah.
It's surprising how versatile this thing is. It's great.
Yeah.
It's also not very
What was
heavy.
the second song you played on there?
We did Time, and then Swallowed by Bush.
Okay, so Time was
Pink Floyd.
which one though?
The
or
first
second?
one.
Okay, so Time was first.
Time was first. Here's a snippet of it.
And go. And we're back. Okay. This is TV magic you guys are seeing right now. And you said the second one was
Swallowed by Bush.
and we're back. Okay, perfect. So those were great. You guys sounded great just now, just playing them just now. That was awesome. So thank you guys for setting up and breaking down so many times tonight. That has been great. So as far as other than this one, you're saying this is 95% of your set, right? You normally play on this one. Which one do you prefer other than this out of these three to play on? Not just of your favorite, but like to play on. You're saying this one feels great. If that one breaks in the middle of a show, which one are you going
Oh,
to?
jeez, don't even say that, because
Knock on
you know,
wood.
if that happens, I'm gonna come here.
I'm not
In the middle of my set, I'm just gonna get my fucking car, drive here.
string breaks. That's not a big deal, right?
Yeah, well, that does tend to happen.
Yeah.
But,
That's what I meant.
I mean, I would just grab whatever's available, because, like I said, I don't bring these
Okay.
to shows
Gotcha.
at the same time. Sometimes I
What
do.
if
I'll
you
bring one
had
or two.
these and this is all you had?
I mean, I would have
Which
to
one are
go
you going
with,
to?
I would have to
Gorgon.
go with this
You're going
one.
there. Okay.
Just because it's the most like this one,
Okay.
but not necessarily. Oh, also, I had back surgery.
So the heavy guys. Not
So the
good.
heavy one,
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another reason why. But
So this is kind of what he was talking about too. Again, with the neck kind of
Yep.
being fixed.
That's
or
a- that's a
sorry,
bolt-on.
bolt on. Okay, cool.
Yep.
What if I just started shredding right now? Just like blew your fucking mind.
That'd be something.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
awesome.
can't do that actually. So that actually won't happen because I don't know how to do that. But no, I mean this is the reason why I like doing this stuff is just because even talking about different kind of wood and stuff like that blows my mind. Now, and this might be a stupid question. I mean, do they ever talk about, again, you're talking guitars made in Mexico, guitars made here. I mean, do the trees grown in different regions make a difference?
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yes, they do. I mean, again,
is that why?
they
Does anyone
had
say that that's why it's better though? Is because the wood up here is better for some reason?
I don't like the word better. I like the word different.
Yeah.
Wood's not coming from Mexico just 'cause it's made of.
Well, that's what I was wondering too. I mean, are they chopping this tree down in Mexico and making out of that tree? Or are they getting the wood from the U.S. or is all the wood coming from somewhere in fucking Brazil or something? I don't
No,
know.
I'm pretty sure that
All those
the
answers are right.
The
Yeah,
manufacturers have they have forests specifically of trees just
So they
for
get
what
guitar
they're
forest.
using for their guitars, right? So like a Gibson and Fender, they have their own like places that they source wood from.
Well, that's one of the appeals to more vintage guitars is that they, like especially vintage Gibsons, they were made with, they weren't dried in a kiln. It was aged and air dried Honduran mahogany.
Okay.
So I mean that's really one of the main focal points with with the maple cap on top on a lot of them, and that's really one of the main points of a vintage Gibson or an older Gibson. Strats and Telecasters have been made out of alder or ash since the beginning of time.
Is
But
alder and ash a little like it's not as hard as a mahogany?
it's actually harder than mahogany. Mahogany is
Ash
typically
and
a softer
alder?
wood.
Oh,
yeah.
it is, okay.
You can tell by all the dings on this one.
Okay. So mahogany's a little softer.
Yeah.
Okay.
More resonant, I think. But I mean, I don't know. You said that's just the one that feels the most comfortable. I think every guitar player's got that.
See, for me, it's like always
know?
thinking about guitars. It was like acoustics would like. It makes more sense to me that that's gonna change the sound of it. But like you guys telling me, like an electric guitar like this is making a different sound. How is that? It's like the vibrations, like the wood, like the
You got
thickness,
it.
the density of
Precisely.
the wood, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I would have never gone there. I
Yeah,
guess
pickup configurations. I mean, the early Strats, the pickups were all the same.
Yeah.
The reason why they sounded different was because of where the pickup was located on the guitar. Same pickup in the bridge as was in the neck, but they sounded different just because of where they were placed.
That's
So
wild.
and scale's different. I mean, sometimes
Again, for like someone like me, I'm hearing it. I'll never pick up on that. But like for you guys, it's like, oh no, I could hear the fucking difference. Yeah.
and scale's different too.
Yeah.
So like Gibsons tend to be slinkier because they're a shorter scale.
Slinkier. What do you mean by that?
I don't know, easier to play, slippery.
Oh, okay.
Whereas I think a Fender is like a 25.5 inch scale, whereas a Gibson is 24 3/4.
Scale is boom
from
to boom?
bridge to headstock.
Okay.
From bridge to nut.
Okay.
So, some guys prefer that shorter scale.
Okay.
Just because strings, there's so much tension there. But I mean, string size makes a difference. I mean, I don't know what size strings you play.
Well, I've heard like bigger the better.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If you know how to work them, it really doesn't matter what size. But
Soft friend told me that. I don't know.
I mean, these are 10 to 48s, I believe. 10 to
That sounds
or
big.
10 to 52, I think.
Yeah.
I forget. It's the Diodarios with the orange. And, yeah. Is that what I
52.
use?
Which is
I don't know.
which is a little bit heavier on the bottom end.
Yes.
Normally 10 to 46.
What are those
is your
two numbers
standard
relating to? What are we talking about here?
string gauge size.
Oh, okay. The
So
thing.
your,
Okay.
your high would
10.
be your 10 gauge.
Okay. Gotcha.
Your low would be, and depending on the guitar, you might want to. I run real heavy low strings on this guitar because
Okay.
it's more twangy.
Okay.
Whereas something like this, I just maybe run a 46 or a 48 on the top.
Okay.
But what's funny is you talk about the string gauge really make a difference. Billy Gibson plays sevens, or Billy Gibbons, not Gibson. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, one of the fattest tones in rock and roll, and he plays like sevens. Super duper.
Sevens.
BB King plays eights.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all learning something tonight.
Holy
Fantastic.
shit.
Yeah. Don't quote me about the BB King thing. I swear he plays eights.
He's wrong.
He doesn't
saying
want
it
to. He doesn't
impress
want to
you.
fight it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I always remember the famous story about Stevie Ray Vaughan and how he played the heaviest gauge.
He played like
possible.
13s.
yeah.
Right.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And it was, but the reason he was able to do it was because he had such big fucking strong
Yeah.
hands.
You got some banana hands.
Yeah, that he could, and if
Some
you watch it,
sausage
it's like
fingers.
he does have enormous hands. Like he could handle it, you know, and to get the same tone, you just can't unless you play that same string. But you got to be
Right.
able to play those, and that's. And you think about the songs that Stevie Ray Vaughan played, you know, Scuttle Button and stuff like this, just with those heavy gauge strings, is insane.
Still all a different language to me. But I like how passionate you guys
We try. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking earlier. It's a never-ending hobby, and it's
Yeah.
one of the most expensive hobbies out there. I mean, it adds up quick because it never ends, and this stuff ain't cheap.
Okay, so currently how many do you own? Guitars. Do you mind answering that question? or-
I don't mind it if I knew the answer. Is that
He's
what it
saying
is?
13. Joe's saying 13. I
Okay.
think he has some insider information. He might be right.
He might be right.
13 and how many bases?
Oh, that was just guitars. That's not basses are separate than this.
Yes. I'm actually a bass player. I'm not a guitar player.
Okay, yeah.
I got stuck playing guitar for this project. But,
The band is giving him copious amounts of shit right now.
You don't play
That's all
guitar like a
straight.
bass player. I got to tell you that. You don't.
I appreciate it.
Plays guitar very well.
Like when I get on bass, I'm actually confident.
You're more comfortable and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel at one with the instrument,
Gotcha.
and you know, I actually have stage presence when I play bass, and I feel like
You did great, so I don't know.
I mean,
it's probably a subconscious thing.
it
but you
really
did
is.
great,
Like
yeah.
when I play these things, I'm like, oh my god, am I doing this right?
Well, you'll see some of the footage that we just
Oh
shot
my god, I might
now. Of the close-ups, it looked badass. I mean, it was, yeah. He's like, shit.
Yeah, we're gonna put in all the fucked up takes.
Yeah.
so you can see
None of the good-
really how hard
Yeah,
it is to
tonight
play
was-
guitar and the struggles.
We'll release an episode that was everything we shot tonight. It's about 4 hours long.
Or we can get my originals band in, and I'll be on bass for that. And
No, we're gonna do some fun editing on this one, so I think it's gonna look great. Yeah.
looking forward to this already.
Warm sun, feed me up when I'm weary. Loaded up, loathing for a change, and I slip some boil away. Swallowed, followed. Everybody, everything from my love. Swallowed, hollowed. I'm with everyone tonight. I'm with everyone tonight. I'm with everyone, yeah. Just wanna be myself. Hey, you said you would love to try some. Hey, you said you would love to die some. In the middle of the world on a fish hook. You're the wave, you're the wave, you're the wave. Swallow sorrow. Everybody, everything from my love. Swallow, follow. Shop about everyone but yourself. Swallowed. Oh no, I'm with everyone now. I'm with everyone tonight. piss on self-esteem when I'm forward, busted knee, sick head, blackened lungs. I'm a simple, selfish son. Swallow, everybody, everything but my love. Swallow, oh no, you shout about everyone but yourself. I'm with everyone in the night. I'm with everyone in the night. Gotta get away from me. 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 I miss the woman that I love a lot. I miss the woman that I love a lot. I miss the woman that I love a lot. I miss her.
So as far as what's your collection looking like these days? How many you think?
My wife knows about all of them too.
Yeah. Do you try to
I'm not
hide them and be
afraid.
like, she's like, is this
No.
your new guitar? You're like, oh no, I had this one for years. It's
No.
been in the garage.
She's really supportive, which is cool.
Okay,
Which
that's
is really
good,
cool.
yeah. So we don't gotta lie right now.
No, I
Okay,
don't
good.
lie at all
That's
about
good,
it.
that's good.
I think I got about 17 or 18.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I've got a bass. I've got one bass.
One bass. I got a
Um,
bass. Yeah.
It just I needed a bass for what I was
Yeah.
doing at the time, and so
McCartney bass?
no, I actually got rid of the McCartney bass.
Got rid of the viola?
I did because it didn't work for what I needed. So I got a 5-string Schecter that I play when I play bass. But yeah, she's super supportive when I find something. I'm a deal hunter. I put a real low price in my mind when I want something.
Yeah. Wait around.
And if I can find it at that price, I don't feel bad about getting it. You know, I'm really cheap that way when it comes to
That's a
that.
good deal in your
fancy
mind.
way of calling yourself cheap. Really good.
But
I
it
did
works.
that.
I mean, I found a lot of cool guitars that, you know, I just lost one last week. I was looking at an SG at Guitar Center that was like $1,100 guitar for like $600, and I called them. No, it's sold already. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I wanted it bad, you know. So
I used to do that with weed. I don't anymore. I got sold oregano a few times and it was cheap, but it didn't get me high. I know that.
yeah, these a little bit different. These still sound good. There's no difference. Though.
Yeah. Shout out to Consume Cannabis. Thanks again, guys. Hopefully, try out some new stuff here soon. But I want to give a thank you. Actually, before I do that, let me grab this little boy over here. And I think David did sign this, and I think the whole band Pinion. You guys all signed this last time, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Except for Brian Brusek.
All right.
No guard. Don't cut your feet off. Don't cut mine off. I got no shoes on.
Yeah, Brian, I was going to mention, speaking of Paul McCartney, did you notice Justin over here with no shoes or socks on?
Oh, I don't mess
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
I don't mess around.
That's his
I almost
thing.
ruined it because I had my Uggs on. I'm real highfalutin kind of guy. I wear Ugg slippers. So
I want to sign right by Big Joe Bazooka.
there you go. You know Joe Bazooka.
I know
You guys
Joe.
stood up in a couple of weddings together.
Yes, we did.
I know of one. I don't know about any other ones, but I just took a
It
stretch.
was one.
So
It was awesome.
it was a great one.
It was
It was
awesome.
Rob's wedding. Rob, how long have you been married for?
10 years, right?
Rob doesn't have to hide his car purchases either, which is also a nice situation.
2011.
It's 10 years, Rob. I know this. I remember.
9 years. Yeah, you know it better than he does. Good thing Jess isn't in here. All right, one more time. Thank you to Pinion. These guys did great tonight. We battled through some stuff. These guys are consummate professionals.
Sound good.
They dealt with it. We made it work only because we had a bunch of people here that cared about putting out some content tonight. We really appreciate everyone that put some time in. So thanks everybody for doing that. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you guys for being back there too and helping out.
Fantastic tonight. You guys did good.
Dave, one more time. David, on the guitar, Pinion, where's you guys got a couple shows coming up?
Yes,
Putting you on
we've
the
got
spot?
Base Camp coming up.
Base Camp,
Friday.
Lyle.
Yes,
It's a fun place to play.
Yeah,
Super
it's
fun place.
yeah. The stage is so high it gives me a vertigo. So please come
Yeah.
and watch me fall off of it.
Yeah.
It's
Get this guy
Friday.
a chair for that.
Not having it. Friday, November 12th.
Okay, perfect.
Base Camp. So
Cool.
if
It's a
you're-
fun venue. Nice little outdoor
Yeah.
area too. A nice little intimate stage.
Great
It's
bar,
Yeah,
great,
it's great.
food. They have a patio. I mean,
Great place.
perhaps by then the patio might not be as fun.
Yeah. It'd be a little snowy at that point, but maybe not.
Who the hell knows?
Who the
It's
hell
Chicago.
knows? Yeah.
Right?
It said it was gonna like sprinkle tonight. We're getting like some thunderstorms. We're gonna film outside. You guys wanted these get soaked a little. We would have got some more rust on them for you.
I mean,
Yeah, that would have been, it would have been like aged as fuck after this. It would have been great.
fuck 1979. We're in 1929.
How old are these guitars? At least 100 years old. Brian Brusack, thank you again, man.
Thanks for having me. It was
Are
fun.
you doing any music stuff lately, or
A lot of stuff at home with my kid. You know,
Yeah?
he's a drummer. So
how old is your kid?
he's 17.
17.
he's a
Doing some
senior.
drumming. You got to make sure you playing a different instrument than you, so you guys could jam.
I tried to get him started on guitar, and he really took to drums, and he
That's
loves
awesome.
them. He's incredible. He does a
That's
good
awesome.
job. So,
That's got to be so fun. playing
oh,
with
it's a
the kids and
blast.
stuff,
It's a blast. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yep.
All right. Bonfire Baptist has been great. Keep stoking those fires. Check us out at Creme and Fuel on Halloween. We're going to be there at noon. Come in costume. If you show up, I'm being told we're getting free booze, free food, free ice cream. We're going to see how well that goes. So I'm saying it here. You heard it here first. Bonfire Banter, keep stoking those fires. Thanks for watching the episode. Thank you to everyone that's been subscribing, liking, commenting. Keep doing that. It means the world to us. Did want to say thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. York Furrier. If you're looking for fine outerwear and furs, go check them out in Elmhurst, right on York Road. More Brewing Company. If you're looking for interesting, creative craft brews and food, go check them out in Villa Park and Huntley. JPL Landscaping and Property Services. They've given us this fantastic firewood once again, so they're going to be keeping us warm for quite a while. Thank you so much, Jim. Mike's and Casey's Meat Markets. Well, we love their meats. That's as simple as it gets there. Thank you guys for your support as well. Jay and Jill Create, you guys are part of the family. Really appreciate everything you've done for us. Claremont Collections, the most impressive private car collection in the city. It is a museum. Go check them out. Consume cannabis. If you're going to consume cannabis. And then Angel Fancies is our newest sponsor, giving us this fantastic new sign. Check it out. Beautiful stuff. She does custom signs, shirts, everything else. Anything you need printed, check them out on Spring Road in Elmhurst. And as always, the Basement Boys. We love you guys. Bunch of crazies there. We love them. Bonfire Banter, keep watching. Thank you so much, everyone supporting us. Keep stoking those fires.